All right, it is crunch time. If you haven't filed your taxes yet, tomorrow is tax day. Doug Snyder, a certified public accountant and a member of the South Carolina Board of Certified Public Accountants, is here with us. He's been giving us the important information we need to know to file our taxes for really the past month and a half. So, Doug, thanks for joining us again. We appreciate
Thank you,
it.
Mel.
Yeah, this is definitely crunch time. We're hoping to reach those 11th hour filers today because I know that they are out there, and I know that you probably have talked to some of them. Let's start with filing an extension. What if someone doesn't have all the information they need to file their personal tax return, or maybe they just don't have the time to do it today?
Absolutely. Well, there are forms you can file, and it is just one form, and it's simple, but there's one form for the IRS,
okay,
and then one form for the state you're filing in, which would be South Carolina. But you do need to take a little time with the form. The form is simple,
okay,
but you need to estimate what you might still owe. So that's why you need to spend a little time doing that, because when you send it in, if you do a refund, well, you'll need to get your tax return in. But if you owe something, that's not extended. So while this extension will give you till October, so it's an automatic 6-month extension, but until then, you don't have 6 months to pay in what it is. So if you wait and pay later, then there may be some penalties or interest related to what you owed, even though you're getting an extension to file your return.
Okay, so I was just going to ask how long this extension is for, and it's till, what is there?
October 15th.
October
6 months.
15th.
It's automatic 6 months.
Okay. What if someone thinks they still owe taxes after they prepare their return?
You do need to send it. This form, each of the forms have a way to say this is what I still owe, and so you need to send that amount in with these forms to get the extension.
And then can you get extra time to pay?
Well, no, you need to have it paid in with the extension if you can.
Okay, so would you be then penalized if you don't pay on time?
There can be penalties and interest.
Okay, all right. Once those personal tax returns are filed, what happens next?
Well, it's a waiting game. You can go to the IRS and the South Carolina website. If you are due a refund, you can say, where's my refund? But over 161 million tax returns were filed in 23. So if you're due a refund, it still may be a waiting game.
Yeah, I was going to say sometimes that can take weeks, and then for people who kind of wait to file like months, that's why people like to get it done early, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
People might not know, although we've reported this before, South Carolina actually has different filing deadlines because of disasters like Hurricane Helene, and this is only for specific people.
Well, no, it's for if you lived in this state.
Yeah, if you lived in this state, I thought it was just for people affected.
And no, the state, the federal disaster areas, because it's South Carolina, and then South Carolina Department of Revenue is allowing to really not. Tomorrow's not the deadline necessarily, but you really need to get in by May the 1st. Okay,
so this is for all of the states. So this is kind of like a little free pass for people who might not truly be affected by the hurricane.
Right, but if you don't have it completed, you need to get that extension in, and then you'd have to file an extension on May the 1st. So you want to stay in the normal rhythm, if you will.
Yeah.
But if you really can't get even in the extensions in, there's a little bit more time to do that.
Okay. Now, in terms of preparing taxes for next year, can we save all the forms that we have this year to make it easier when we go to file our 2025 taxes?
I like to start with that tax return from the last year. So we still have 8 months in 2025, so instead of waiting till this time next year to look at tax savings or what we might do, if you take this year's tax return and look at that, saying you might want to change some of your habits or increase your retirement savings so that you get more tax benefits this time next year. So it's good. It's a good planning tool. You don't think of that as a tax return as a planning tool, but it's a good start to say, on this tax return, where could I save some taxes, and then for 25 be able to do that.
And how good does it feel to be prepared? I know for me, as someone who's type A, I thrive in a situation like that. What are some helpful websites for folks who are watching today and they're like, all right, I really got to get my ducks in a row?
The two you really need to know is the IRS website, which is irs.gov. South Carolina Department of Revenue is dor.sc.gov, and then my website is there also. So for all those last-minute panics, if you need a form or something like that, we certainly can get that completed.
All right, Doug, thanks so much for joining us. We certainly appreciate it. You've been so helpful for the people of the Lowcountry, providing very insightful information when they go to file their taxes.
Thanks, Mel.
Thanks.